Hello, what is long option line swing trading strategy? With long option line swing trading strategy, you pick upward stocks, and if you just start swing trading, it might be a good idea to start with large cap. Some large cap, the price per share is now too high, so you can start with large cap because they are more stable. They do not fluctuate too quickly. Therefore, it might be a stable stocks that you can start working with. If you want to venture to other caps of stocks, you can start with large cap and go from there. But the long up to long strategy, I think it works well with upward type of stocks. So you want to handpick your stocks to have a watch list of those stocks that are upward stocks, uptrending, and just make sure they are good stocks that you can invest in long term. And you will choose maximum daily chart. At first, it might be a good idea to use maximum monthly chart to see a little bit about the stocks, and from there you can trace your upper trend lines. So there are support lines passing by the lows, connecting the higher lows. That's what will give it the upper trend line, or the oblique, or the uptrending shape of line. So you'll have those support lines. They are support lines passing by the lows. You can start tracing on the maximum monthly chart, passing by the obvious lows that you can spot without zooming, and then you'll go to maximum daily chart to adjust some of them if they are too far from the base that you are trying to reach, and trace some more, especially if the trend lines didn't come close to the price. You can trace some as well on the maximum daily chart, and then based on the type of trend lines that you trace, you can choose the one or the ones that you like to target to buy the stock at. And by doing that, by using the support lines, and especially the one at the base of the mountain, I like to call that area the valley, you are choosing to enter the trade at a lower point instead of claiming jumping in where it is at. You decided to wait, depending on where the stock is at that moment. You might decide to wait to buy at the trend line. It could be that by the time you are tracing those lines, the price was closer, or it could be the price was still climbing up. Therefore, you might have to wait for a while. But is choosing your stocks, trace your trend lines, and you can have more than one. Here we color them purple so that we can distinguish them from the short trend lines that we might have on the chart. And that way, we can distinguish them for the other ones that we might have on the chart. And as the price continue to move, you will continue to extend your line, and depending on how the price is moving, you might even decipher other trend line that was not obvious to you before. You might even trace those, and you might even decide to buy at those line instead when it pulls to that line. So, but yeah, and every single chart will be different. They will be different from each other, and yeah, it's just about having those lines and use those as your entry point. So you want to wait to get in when the price pull back to that trend line and start going up. you will want it to buy. For instance, with LYY, we have 3 trend lines there that we say, well, if we touch base with either one of them, we will get in. And as we touch base with this trend line, which is more than 1 year, is almost 2 years, started somewhere May 2023, so it's like 1.5 years type of trend line, and it has been touching base with it, rest on it, and pull back. So we decided to buy it at that trend line, and we waited to have few higher lows there. And as you can see, when you pull back to the trend line, it may not touch it, it might touch it, it might go below it, making lower lows. But when they start, you wait for to have a few higher lows at that trend line as a confirmation that it's done going down before you get in at the first or second green bar that follow a pullback. A pullback is a red bar that sometimes I call a low as well. The price in the evening when the market closed was lower than the price in the morning when the market opened for that particular stock. Therefore, the price dropped that day. And a green bar is the price in the evening when the market closed was higher than the price in the morning when the market opened. So it'll be a green bar. The price went up that day. And I like to use those red bar as a pullback and compare them to see if they are going higher. So this is higher than this one, which is higher than this one, which is higher than this one. So I'm having higher lows, and I got in after 2 confirmation of higher lows. You could wait for the third one depending on what is going on or how comfortable you are with the stocks. And we got in, and then it started going up there, and you can see that it went up, pull back, went up, pull back. I like to call it green bar. It went up that day. When it went up, pull back. So it's doing just one day type of things there. And so now we purchase it. So when you find your entry point at the trend line, you will start thinking about where you like to sell it. It could be at the next high. It could be when you have about 10% return, depending on how much you pay for it. When the price went up 10%, you can just sell it and lock in that 10%. So for instance, this is 618 here. So if you have about 61, excuse me, so if it went up $61 more or less, just use a calculator here. So if we have 618, let's say you bought it one share at 618, let's just do to make it simply, let's do times 10 divided by 100. That'll give you $61 that you can take plus 618. So when the price reach 679.80 somewhere here, you can just sell it between those two, because the y-axis is the price, the bottom x-axis is the date. So between 680 and 700 here, pretty much, in fact, it's not even there. If this is 680, it's right below it. So somewhere there will be 679, close to pretty much 680. You wanted to sell it. So yeah, you can set some parameter like that for yourself to guide you, and just you keep watching what is going on. Another things to think about is the big picture of what the chart is doing. So using the maximum daily chart, you can see that you can see more than 1 year on your screen compared to 1 year daily chart. As a swing trader, you can swing trade on a daily chart. And you can use maximum daily chart or 1 year daily chart. Maximum daily chart will show you more than 1 year on the chart, will allow you to know what kind of mountain the price tend to make. When we look at this, it is a wide mountain here that cross multiple years. So it made a wide, not too tall, but a wide one before it touched base with that trend line again. And then it continued and is up there. So by just seeing how wide this mountain is, and when it started to go up again after pulling back to the valley and start going up, we can see that it is big. Those lines that you can see are years. So 2024, 2023, it started in 2022 going up. Therefore, there is a chance that if it tends to make a wide mountain, there is a chance that it might try to pull back. When? We don't know. Having this picture will help you know if you are getting in at the right time. Based on that, I could say that we didn't get in at the right time. We call the ride, like we call the ride at some point, like close to the top. Does that make sense? So it is a risk. That means if it decided that, you know what, I'm done going up, I'm done building this side of the mountain, now I wanted to climb down and build the other side of the mountain, the descent, it will take us a while to reach this base. It will take us a while to go back up and pass where we bought it to have a positive margin for us to sell it, because we don't like to sell it at a loss. We will wait for a while. And you can see we have, as of Friday, you know, we have our account position extra here. You can see that we have multiple stocks that are negative in it. We purchased the one that are highlighted in yellow. We purchased them in 2024 for swing trading purposes. The one that we didn't highlight, we purchased them for dividend income purposes that we usually sell when they become positive. But the one we purchased in 2024, we purchased them using short upturn and swing trading strategy. But after trading them multiple times, it happened that we bought them at some point closer to the tip of the mountain, the peak, the high, and then it pulled back. Therefore, we will have to wait for a while for that to go back up and surpass where we bought it, for that to become positive before we sell it. The one that we color in dark color, we highlight in dark color, we purchased them this year using a longer uptrend launching trading strategy and wait to buy at the base of the mountain. So having this profit at this point in it, it is a risk to keep waiting for a 10% return, or for that to reach the next high before we get in. It can reach it, but again, it is a risk there. But again, by doing it, you are observing and you are learning. But by looking at the big picture here, we can say that, this side of the mountain side, the up side of the mountain, it has been building up for a while. At some point, it might decide to just go down. When that trend line, that is, the building up side of the mountain that it is supporting, when that will end for that to decide to go down, we don't know. So yes, we got in at the base of that trend line. When we have a confirmation that it started to go up, but again, we got in this race a little bit higher up. When you are looking at it in the maximum, on the maximum daily chart, if you go to 1 year daily chart, it may not be that obvious to you, because you'll be seeing 1 year time frame, which is just going to be that upper side of the mountain that you will be seeing, and it will just be showing you the mountain that it was creating along that line. And again, just based on that, we got in, at the base of the mountain that is going to start creating but it does not really give us the bigger the bigger picture of the mountain is creating. It just give, zoom in that side of the mountain. Therefore, using maximum daily chart and 1 year daily chart to actually trying to understand the pattern that the price is drawing and put it in context, or put it in perspective, or try to compare it to the previous pattern that he draw to see if he's trying to do the same thing, could help you determine where you are thinking of entering the trade. If you are entering it in the in the upside of the mountain, if you are entering it in the downside of the mountain, if you are entering it too far gone on the upside of the mountain, meaning at any point it could decide to pull back, or if you are trying to enter right at the base of the mountain. If we put MMC there and maximum daily chart, we can see that with the way it's doing this mountain, we are seeing some similarity going, and we bought it. We target those two trend line. It breached that one and reached this one, and when they start going up there after a few confirmation of higher lows, we got in. And for this one, we can say that we bought it at the base of the mountain, now at the upside of it, for instance. Does that make sense? So, and if we zoom a little bit, we can see that we have this low was higher than this, higher than this, higher than this, higher than this. So, and we usually buy at the first or second green bar that follow a pullback. That day was a green bar when we were placing the order, and became a red one by the end of the day. So a pullback that day, but still it started to go up a little bit. And MMC, when the market closed on the 24th, we have a little bit of profit in it. But yeah, that is long option long swing trading strategy. You don't need to use indicator if you do not understand how they works. You can just use daily chart, where every single bar is a daily fluctuation of the price, and you can trace your own support lines, which are uptrend lines, and just make sure you are targeting the ones that are more than 1 year long or 1 year old, meaning 2025, 2024. So therefore, it is, you can see that this one here is more than a year, because it started in 2000. No, in fact, it started shortly. Yeah, it's somewhere here. It started shortly before 2024, and this one is way before 2024, the one we bought it at, that even it didn't touch base with in 2024, and when end up touching base with it in 2025. So, and if we go to maximum monthly chart, where we usually start tracing those. Okay, I'm having some issue with the chart. Okay, so let's just stay on the daily chart here. But yeah, that is just by just observing the chart, and every day the price will be will add a bar to it, and every day is just tracing the pattern, and you start to understand what kind of pattern is tracing for you. Some of you might understand it better if you are good at doing puzzle, I think. I'm not sure. But some of us, it may not be that obvious until it's far into the pattern. But it is okay. by having a stock watch list that you just trade from constantly, you handpick them a good one and you just trade from you will get to understand those pattern that they are trying to, that those chart creates or draw. So it's good to have a stock watch list that you can curate times to times. And we talk about the entry point, and once you have it, you start thinking about, once you purchase some share, you can start thinking about where to sell. And like we talk about it, you can aim for 10% or a specific dollar amount, or the next high, depending on the type of stocks you are trading. If you create next high often, like a new high often, yeah, you can target the next one. But again, you put it in perspective or in context, knowing what side of the mountain you call the ride, to see if you want to wait for multiple new highs before you get out, or if you want to sell it at the first one that you come across. In this instance, it's going to be somewhere there, but along the way it's going to be pulling up, pulling down, all the way doing the zigzag going. So when it's going to reach here, we don't know, but we just know that we bought it at the base good enough for us to just stay the course. So sometimes it might be low when it pull back, depending on how low it pull back and so forth. And alternatively, you can try to see the next time it reach a new high, how long it took before it reached the next one. For instance, you can see that this was the last last high, the last peak of the mountain, the tallest peak of the mountain before this one. So when it reached this one in September, it reached this one in November. So it took about 2 months or so to do that. And when it reached this peak in November, it reached the valley in January, about 2 months to come down as well. So knowing those things, you can try to use the month as a reference as well, knowing that you might sell it within a month or two or a month and a half before it start going down. Instead of thinking that, oh, you know what, I'm going to stay the course for higher highs. It is a possibility. Keep in mind that this one, we caught it there though, and the last time that it touched base with this trend line, it was never in 2024. So if it's going to repeat the same pattern, it could take a while before it will reach a peak where it's going to decide not to come back, where it's going to decide to come back to this trend line. In that case, it might follow a secondary trend line to create the upper side of the mountain. To create that side of the mountain, it might do that for a while. Therefore, even if it reach the next high, we might decide to stay in it, because we have a high here, we have a higher here, so a higher there, a higher there. So it did multiples before it decided to pull back, but within each one of those, it was pulling back to the trend line that is supporting the upper side of the mountain. If we assume this is a big mountain, the upside of the mountain going up, because this is the highest peak, going up, the support line that support that wall of the mountain is pulling back to it, and so forth. So even here, it didn't pull back to it at all. It took a while before it pulled back to it. So leaving here, we could decide to sell at some point, and then when you pull back to a secondary trend line, which will be the wall for the upside of the mountain that is creating, we can buy. It'll go up and so forth if it's going to repeat this pattern. So pretty much trying to lock in those swing up profit along the way is another strategy. I just don't know if I want to do that, because that will be a shorter trend line. If we are going to do that, it is a possibility. Just by trying, you will try to customize your strategy to fit you, your risk tolerance, your personality type, and customize it in a way that it can help you reach your financial goal. So you can tweak it a little by little as well, depending on your time availability and all of that as well, and or how more active you want to be involved, or just decided to, because you got in well at the base of the mountain, just let it ride the course for a while where you cross multiple highs, and then you sell to lock in a good amount of profits. But of course, losing the smaller profit because you're making some upswing, and you are not catching those profits, locking them in. You are letting them go to just buy at one point. When I put my mouse here, you can see the price there, and sell it at some point. The price between the two, and lock that profit in, instead of from here to here to locking this profit. So, but it's just that it's not just one strategy. There are so many, short, long, but we just wanted to try the long strategy, the long option swing trading strategy, to see how we feel about that. Last year we did the short one, and this year we like to do the long trend line, to see how we feel about it, and compare both and see which one better fits, which one better fit our personality. Actively trading, buying and selling every few days, or buying and selling weeks or a month or 2 months later. But yeah, that is the long option and swing trading strategy. Thank you. We thank you very much for your time. We thank you very much for all your comments. We thank you very much for watching our videos. We thank you very much, you all that subscribe to our channel. I'm Afiavi Liberman, creator of Liberman Consulting L.L.C YouTube channel, and inasub.com, our blog. On our channel and on our blog, we share different ways to save money and different ways to make money to reach your financial independence, where you do not depend on an employer to provide for your family. And swing trading is one way to make money. If you are looking to create your stock watch list and wanted some idea, will you please check our playlist where we have our watch list videos. Thank you.